Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Excited for another fun-filled, action-packed episode of Tuesdays with Charlie. We actually just saw him the other day.
We did?
We saw him a couple of times in the last week.
We did.
Which
We're
is kinda
very,
nice.
very fortunate.
Hey, we have here, in addition to Tuesdays with Charlie, a couple of fun statistics that you're going to like. A British study found that the average mother spends 12 full 24 hours a day shopping for Christmas. That seems like a lot.
I think that seems low.
No kidding? 12 full days, 24-hour days. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
it's not like you're gone for full days, but over the course of the entire Christmas season, getting ready for Christmas, yeah.
It is estimated that during the Christmas shopping season, the Visa credit card is used an average of 5,380 times per minute.
Whoa.
That's a lot. And one non-Christmas thing here, there is a Moscow cat theater in Russia, Moscow, Russia, where all the performers are cats. Do you suppose
Really?
they've ever done the Broadway show Cats?
Possibly. I would assume so. That only makes sense.
I think so, too. We got some special stuff going on today. We'll tell you all about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today
What
is?
is today, John?
Thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, November the 29th. Today is Electronic Greeting Card Day, so it's a day you're supposed to send an electronic greeting card. It's also Giving Tuesday, which is nice, International Day of Solidarity within the Palestinian people, and Square Dancing Day. Are you a square dancer?
No.
You don't look like a square dancer. Did you have to square dance like in PE in elementary school?
Yes.
We did too. I remember doing
And
that.
I hated it.
That is like early days of rap.
I was so painfully shy.
Yeah.
And that was an awful, dreaded day for me to have to do that. I
Yeah,
hated
grab
it.
your partner around and you had to twirl and do all that stuff. And I was like, wow, this is not my kind of dancing. I know some people that are square dancers. And if you're a good square dancer and if you have like a good square dance caller, it's awesome to watch. But it's just not for me. I'm not any kind of dancer. So probably won't be celebrating with that one. But I will be celebrating maybe sending an electronic greeting card. I don't know. One of those things. Thanks for listening on a Tuesday.
John and Heidi.
Would you like to lose weight? You could wait till New Year's to make a resolution, but most people that do that are done with them in a few weeks. No, they don't hit their goal. They just give up. If you struggle to keep your weight where you'd like it, maybe you should consider hypnosis. Many people have amazing results with hypnosis, and it's not as expensive as you think. We have a special weight loss hypnosis program for just $60 at radiosavings.com. Hypnosis can help reduce the cravings that cause you to overeat. Learn more about this special hypnosis weight loss system from Extreme Power Hypnosis at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. Leaving crumbs on your kitchen counter can get you evicted in Japan.
Oh.
What? This is nuts. It's hard to get an apartment in Japan. So hard that tenants have been evicted for tiny little things like leaving crumbs on the kitchen counter, for not making their beds, or even for hanging their curtains crooked.
How would the landlord even know?
I have no idea.
Like here, you have to give a 24-hour notice before you can even go into a tenant's apartment.
It says here, when the tenants are evicted, landlords can rent the place out to the next person on the list, sometimes for up to twice as much money.
Oh.
So the rules there are different. I think they can boot you out just because, oh, hey, he's been here a long time, he's not paying much. I don't like that tie you're wearing. We're going to evict you. I don't think those are
They
good
probably don't
rules.
have fair housing like we have
I don't think
here.
so. This is in Japan. Again, people get evicted for minor infractions like having crumbs on the counter, not making their bed, or even hanging their curtains crooked. So can only imagine how many times I would have been evicted by now.
Oh, for sure.
Heidi, are you going
You
to
would
evict
be
me?
homeless.
Heidi would evict me very, very soon. I make little messes in the kitchen and don't get them cleaned
little
up.
messes.
Now, here's the thing. It's not that I don't clean them up. It's just that I live with this woman here. Her name is Tidy Heidi. So she walks in a room. First thing she wants to do is tidy everything up. I'm like, would you stop it? I'm still cooking over there. You don't need to put it
you're,
away yet.
Like in the living room with your feet up.
But the
watching
frying
TV.
pan is cooling down. Apparently, I'm supposed to wipe down
You're supposed to clean everything up.
supposed to do that while the stove is still hot?
Yes.
I just burned myself.
You have a rag.
What happened to you? I was cleaning the stove while it was still hot. I didn't want Tidy Heidi to evict me. So. Anyway, and I'd never make my bed. I actually read a story that said if you don't make your bed, you never have to worry about bed bugs because they cannot survive if you leave your bed unmade.
I get very restless if the bed is not made. I don't like to go to work knowing the bed isn't made.
Sometimes we'll be ready to leave somewhere, and I'll go in and I'll just mess up the bed just so when we come back, she's like, what happened in here? Did somebody come in while we were gone? I'm like, oh, wow, someone must have broke in.
Yeah.
Anyway, that could get us evicted in Japan, so now we know. And you know it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. They say you should do nearly anything to keep an intoxicated friend from driving, but can you go too far? This might be too far. Police in Bloomington, Indiana, arrested David Woodward when he attacked his friend with a knife for shooting out 2 tires of his car to keep him from driving drunk.
Oh.
They also plan to file charges against the shooter, who was also intoxicated, especially after they found out that he was using an assault-style rifle at his home, one that he wasn't even supposed to have. So, yeah, it sounds like these guys, he was trying to be a good friend. He's like, hey, I can't, friends don't let friends drive drunk, right? So I can't let you drive. And the guy's like, I'm fine. I can make it. Which, it's a good thing that he stopped him. But the way that he stopped him, going out and shooting out his tires.
Well, yeah, because that's expensive.
And then the friend that got the tire shot out got out and stabbed his other friend with a knife. So, the hijinks ensued, you might say. So these guys have different kind of parties than we have.
At least he was watching out for his friend.
Yeah, he's looking out for his buddy.
You gotta say something about
there
that.
you go. So that happened in Bloomington, Indiana, and that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. A bored Italian grandmother shoplifted about $82,000 worth of jewelry. She was hiding the valuables in her knickers, also known as underwear.
My gosh.
Police in Genoa, Italy, said the 62-year-old woman visited several jewelry stores, posing as a frail but wealthy old lady. She would study items offered for viewing, waiting until the moment the sales assistant was distracted by another customer. Then she would quickly drop the items into her knickers, so that even the staff, when they would search her pockets, they would find nothing. The woman was arrested after being caught on security camera. Upon arrest, the elderly woman said that she just intended to make life more exciting.
Well,
Why were you doing this? I was just trying to have some fun.
that would do it.
Make things exciting. Again, a 62-year-old Italian grandmother shoplifted $82,000 worth of jewelry, hiding it in her underbritches. So, there you go.
Would they even want him back after that?
Yeah, they would. They'd probably cleanse them and then sell them at a discount. I'm sure they wouldn't tell anybody that, hey, here's some granny knickers jewelry. All right. Coming up, we're going to talk about a Santa at a mall that's already in trouble. We'll tell you all about that in a bit.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now, your Scoop of the Day. We start out, we had a huge Christmas shopping weekend that already started this last weekend. We had Black Friday, and then we had Small Saturday, and then yesterday was Cyber Monday. So we got all this stuff going on. And there's already been at least one Santa in a mall in Florida. And when I say this, I mean, Santa was in Florida at the mall. But I got to tell you, kids, this wasn't the real Santa. This was an impersonator that got in trouble. You know what he got in trouble for?
What's that?
He told one of the kids that Hillary Clinton is on his naughty list.
Oh.
So I'm not exactly sure how that came up with a 5-year-old, but the kid wasn't. I don't know what's going on there.
I like that, Santa.
I just think that's funny. Hey, Hillary Clinton may have lost the election, but voters in a Pew Research poll gave her a better grade for now. She conducted for how she conducted herself during the campaign than President-elect Trump. So she got a better grade for how she conducted herself. Moving right along, here's a disturbing post-Thanksgiving statistic. 75% of people said they would serve their Thanksgiving turkey even if it fell on the floor. Heidi, I have to ask.
I would.
I didn't think that you would say no on that. Because I've seen you. You're like, oh, the mold is only on one side, and you're cutting a hunk of bread off. So I got to ask, First of all, are you all right over
Sorry.
there?
I have such a terrible cold, so
She's
I apologize.
Chomping on some cough drops right now. So I have to ask, did our turkey fall on the floor by chance?
It did not.
Okay, good.
And I wouldn't even hesitate if it fell on the floor before cooking it, because you can just wash it off and then cook
You
it.
could wash it off even if you already cooked it. But anyway,
But yes,
75%.
I would definitely still
I knew you
serve
would.
it.
Recent studies show that if you place germs on an office building's door handle, the germs will spread to people scattered throughout the building in a large-scale structure within just a few hours. It spreads through the office quicker than gossip, so it gets everywhere. So Heidi's over here coughing, and I'm scooting back.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Now we'll both be sick. Police departments.
You're not
around
going to get sick from the office. You sleep with me, so
I know.
you're going to get
well,
sick from.
We are married. I want to make sure people who don't know that are like, whoa, did she just let the cat out of the bag? One of these two is going to get fired. No, everybody knows this. Police departments around the world are reminding citizens they should not call 911 when there's a Facebook outage.
Oh my gosh.
Recent departments in Houston, Texas, Kingston, England, and Queensland, Australia, they've had to post messages on their Facebook to inform people that when there are outages, there's nothing local police can do.
Wow.
So you don't call the police because Facebook is out. That's not their
That's
problem.
ridiculous.
And I love the fact that they're posting it on their Facebook page because, if Facebook is out, I'm not going to see that. So whoever thought that plan through didn't really think it through. Recent study shows that feeling grateful for the kind acts of others can cause you to eat more sweets. So that's my problem. I'm just too darn nice to other people. That's why I eat too many sweets. Nearly half of adults in the U.S. in a 60 Minutes Vanity Fair poll wish they would have made more of an effort in college. 40% said they wish they would have done more networking. 45% of parents said if their child was offered a dream job while in college, they'd advise them to finish school first. According to a recent survey on office pet peeves, 32% of employees listed loud talkers as the biggest annoyance in the workplace. What do you think of that one?
I don't know. Let's go back to that last one.
Okay.
If our son were in school, which he chose not to go,
Yeah.
but if he were offered his dream job, would
Yeah.
we say, no, you should keep going to school?
I'd tell him take the dang job.
Absolutely
You can
take the
you can
job.
go back and finish school later if you need to.
If the job doesn't work out, you can always go back to school. But what good is that degree going to do you when your dream job is being handed to you without a degree?
But maybe you don't take that advice from the two of us. I mean,
Why?
are we the ones to listen to on this?
Yeah, if your dream job is handed to you
Listen,
without
look at
even
that diploma
finishing
hanging on my
school-
wall. See how I have diploma spelled out with Crayola? I don't know if I'm the guy. I don't have a diploma because I did not go to college.
I'm just saying, if you can get your dream job without the debt,
and
that
here's
makes
the thing.
sense.
That's what happened to me. So again, I don't know that I'm really the guy to ask because I did that. So my perspective is going to be, hey, I get to do what I love doing. So of course I would say that. But again, kids, talk to your mom and dad. And back to the study here. Pet peeves in the office. Loud talkers was number one on the list. 44% said condescending tones were the worst. 37% found public reprimands at work irritating. 34% said they hated their boss that micromanaged them. And 22% dislike using speakerphones in public areas. So that's one that I don't like. You got this.
I don't like
that little, I
don't even like to be on a speakerphone. Like if somebody calls me and I can tell I'm on speakerphone, I do not like
quite
that.
often I'll hit speakerphone to dial the number, and as soon as it rings, I pick up the phone.
Yeah.
That's how I do it, but that's just me. All right. Our scoop of the day has gone long, but thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Tuesdays with Charlie is on the way.
John and Heidi.
We just wrapped up one of the most contentious elections in the history of our nation. Some are excited about the outcome, others not so excited. We want to remind you that we're still one nation, under God, indivisible. We've made it through many things, and we'll make it through this too. Let's do it together. At PoliticalStorm.com, we've been covering this election from both sides, and we want to thank the many contributors that have helped make that possible. We also invite you to become a contributor too with a free blog. Let's share all of the reasons to come together and unify as a nation. Share your voice at PoliticalStorm.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the telephone, we call my father-in-law for a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
Hi, Charlie. How you doing?
I think I've seen you more in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last 2 years.
I know.
That's a good thing.
It's pretty cool. We get to see each other at like family events. And
Jeez, I should have been a hermit.
You pretty much are.
But it was good. It was good to see you, Charlie. Thanks for joining us for Thanksgiving. That was fun.
Yes, it was. It really was.
Your wife and your daughter make pretty darn good stuff. Your wife made some really good buns, and your daughter made really good everything. So
Really
yummy.
awesome stuffing.
I thought it was good. It was stuffing soup, but it was good. It was
Yeah, I
good.
kind of messed up the stuffing. That's all right.
You know, she's gone for about 4 days, so when she got home, I gave her some stuffing, too. So.
Oh, wow.
Okie dokie then. And with that, what are we going to talk about today, Charlie?
In 1976, an episode of Sesame Street was aired that scared kids so much, but they've refused to air it ever since.
Oh,
What was the episode?
I don't know.
Well,
Thank you for
tell
that
us
one.
something awesome like that, and you don't tell us what the plot was of Sesame Street?
Well, I can't because kids might still be watching it or something. I don't
Oh,
know.
I gotcha. Yeah. So it's for the children, I see. Not because you don't have the info. It's just because, always looking out for the kids on this show.
Walter Summerford.
Okay.
During his lifetime, he was struck by lightning 3 times.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And then after his death, his gravestone was struck by lightning.
Holy
Wow.
cow.
So apparently he's got some sort of thing that is very attracted to lightning in his
I think
body.
they're about to get him.
Yeah, there's something going on there.
He's got a magnetic personality.
Must be it.
Hey, then, rather than using lawnmowers, Google is,
Yeah.
they regularly employ a flock of 200 goats to naturally mow and fertilizer their lawn.
Yeah,
I
a
think
good
that's
idea.
fantastic.
I would do that. Anybody got some goats I can use? I don't think that's probably going to work in our neighborhood.
You could try it, but I don't think it'll work.
We'll see.
Hey, then, this guy's got the greatest job in the world. His name's John Harrison. He has tasted samples of over 200 million gallons of ice cream,
Oh, wow.
and his taste buds are insured for $1 million.
Are you
Holy
kidding me?
cow. That's pretty
What
cool.
a good job.
Yeah.
He's probably not allowed to eat hot things.
What happened? I bit my tongue.
I bet he can't if he's got his tongue insured.
Yeah, probably not.
Because I've burnt the heck out of my tongue before, and you can't taste anything.
Hey, then, you eat raw oysters on the half shell?
No.
Never.
I've never had them either. But did you know that a raw oyster is likely still alive when you eat it?
Oh, that's just disgusting.
One more reason to not eat that.
Oh.
I think you got to be sick to do that.
I've seen a lot of people do it, and a lot of people freaking love them.
Yeah, I suppose.
Hey, then I got one last thing here for you.
All right, what's that?
You ever heard of the internet site Hub?
No. I've not.
Haven't you?
No. Charlie's like, I got a family membership there. We should...
Wonder how come I know about it.
Can't talk about Sesame Street because of the kids, but we can talk about
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Hub planted 15,473 trees in honor of their Gives America Wood environmental... Anyway, they planted a lot of trees.
I see Grandma laughing in the background.
Well, I thought that was pretty nice. A lot of trees.
That's very nice. Something we can use.
Good to know.
I got to get on my staff here. There's something slipping.
I'm not sure what they're up to these days. Hey, are you ready for a question, Charlie?
I've got the answer.
All right, I'll give you the question first, then we'll see if you can get an answer. The question is, in the movie Finding Nemo and in the movie Finding Dory, which is the new movie, what kind of fish is Dory?
A walleye.
No, it's not a walleye.
Walleye. Is she a clownfish?
No, she's a blue tang fish.
Oh.
A blue tang fish. And I think, is Dory a goldfish? Or not Dory, but Nemo?
Nemo, I think, is a goldfish.
I don't know if he's supposed to be a goldfish, but he's kind of, goldfish looking. But Dory, the blue one, is a blue tang fish.
I didn't like those movies.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't.
We didn't see the second one.
Well, I didn't bother seeing the second one because I didn't like the first one.
I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, who was Dory and Nemo or whatever they are?
It's a cartoon movie. You wouldn't have seen it.
It's for the children, Charlie. They'll watch that right after Sesame Street.
I bet they take that off the air, too, because people would complain.
There you go. Well, Charlie, it was always good to chat with you. We'll talk to you again soon.
Probably next Tuesday.
That'll work. We'll talk to you then.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye, Charlie. Again, we talk to him every Tuesday. That's my father-in-law. It's a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
Are you ready for Duel? Kyle Dowling on guitar, Brett Gunderson on bass, Sam DeVito on drums, and frontman Duel Shape.
Gotta keep rocking, gotta keep sucking, bringing it down like rain.
Duel's new single just hit iTunes and it's selling fast. Get your copy now.
You're lacking chains and you feel no pain, Supernova gonna get you too.
Their first single, Supernova, is available now for less than $1. Learn more and find a direct link to buy Supernova at facebook.com/dualrocks.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Sailors once believed that smelling the bad breath of whales caused brain disorders.
Really?
Yeah, apparently somebody smelled a
Do
whale's
they
bad breath.
often smell
I don't
whale
know.
breath?
Some dude went crazy after the fact, so there you go. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Americans spent over $360 million last year to avoid bad breath. So apparently this is big business. They should give some of that to the whales. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Lemonade is believed to have been invented in Egypt. It was originally a type of wine that would be drunk by peasants 1,500 years ago. So there you go.
Okay.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Ronald Reagan used to write love letters to his wife Nancy, calling her Mommy or Mommy Poo or even Mommy Poo Pants.
I love Reagan, but that nickname just drives me insane.
Come on, Mommy.
No, do not.
Can I call
me
you
that.
Mommy?
I don't understand how that would get somebody excited.
All right. And our final fun fact for
Right?
you, Heidi.
I mean, if
yeah, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
Final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
While sleeping, 1 in 10 men grind their teeth. Do I grind my teeth while sleeping?
I know I do. I don't know if you do.
I don't think
but
I
I
do.
do.
I have to check. Next time I grind my teeth, or next time I'm sleeping, check and see if I'm grinding my teeth.
I'll wake up in the morning, my jaw physically hurts from grinding my teeth.
Well, you have to stop doing that. Coming up, we've got male habits that annoy women. Okay, we'll see if I'm on the list here, too. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
This is the world's first and only 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Since I endorsed Lottolicious, I have won something every single draw. When you join, you'll be giving them the set of numbers that you want them to play, and that's what they will play for you. You don't have to worry about running to the store to buy your tickets. They take care of all that. So if you're looking for the best way to play the lottery, go to RadioLottoPool.com and join today. Again, that's RadioLottoPool.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday. Ask Men has a list here of male habits that annoy women. The orifice phenomenon. Things from like burping and spitting. It says, would you want women to start doing that around you? Honestly, it wouldn't really matter to me. But
Oh, whatever. That's
Really?
disgusting.
listening when you feel like it. Men have the ability to pick and choose keywords in a conversation. Foods, sports, Jackie Chan, whatever it is, it's something that's relevant to them. That's all they pick up. Everything else is just wah, 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 wah. Does that happen to us?
Oh, yeah.
So what do we call that again? There's a word for it.
Selective hearing.
Yeah, that's the one. Do I have that?
Yes.
Were you saying something?
Without a doubt, you have that.
Tuning out kind of goes along with the listening one, but women say they just can't handle it. That men will zone out or tune out conversations, and ladies hate that. Do you hate it when I do that?
Yes.
Do I do that a lot?
Yes.
Sorry. How about leaving a trail? Men have the ability to leave a trail wherever they go. Food, clothing, pots and pans. We just talked about that earlier today.
And I don't even know how that's possible. I can literally follow you from one end of the house to the other. There's socks in one room and then shoes in another, and
let's
then
get back to the list.
in another.
Clippings and shavings.
Oh my gosh. It's like they've been in our house.
It kind of has. How about the "I'm sick, take care of me" syndrome? Stop whining and, take care of yourself. Does that happen when I'm sick? I don't think so.
You're such a baby when you're sick.
What do I ask for when I'm sick?
You don't really ask for anything, but you whine and moan.
No, I like to whine and moan a lot.
I don't feel good.
Again, male habits that annoy women. The wandering eye says the guys will be, sitting in a restaurant and a lady will walk by and they'll kind of watch all the way by. And that's probably also when they're tuning out their wife that's talking to them and they're like, what was that again?
That's not something you really do.
I
you
don't
do that.
No.
I mean, you probably do out of the corner of your eye.
No.
You still want me to see.
No, because
but
here's the
you
thing.
don't really do that.
I don't need to because I got you. I'm like, I don't need to look anywhere else. And then the last thing is being unobservant. Open yourself to the insignificant things like new perfume she's wearing or new haircut. Noticing the little things.
That is something else you're pretty good at.
I'm pretty good
you
at
notice
that.
those
I'm like,
things.
is that new perfume you're wearing? You're like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I just saw the price tag and I saw the receipt. Yes. Anyway, a couple of things right there from Ask Men, some male habits that annoy women.
John and Heidi.
When is the last time you changed the air filter on your furnace? Now, don't be embarrassed. That happens to a bunch of us. The furnace filter should be changed often. This will help your heating and cooling system run more efficiently, and it'll even extend the life of your system. Now, there's an easy way to make it happen. Filter Easy, a new subscription service that delivers your size filter right to your door on the schedule you choose. It's easy. Filter Easy. One less thing to worry about. Learn about a special offer available now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Have you ever heard the phrase, that'll go over like a lead balloon?
Yes.
That's actually where the band Led Zeppelin got their name.
Really?
Yeah, and I've also heard the phrase, that would go over like a concrete boat.
Oh, I was going to say like a fart in church. That's what my family
No.
always said. That would
Well,
go
that
over like a
explains-
fart in church.
That explains your family quite a bit. But there's now a new concrete that is being used to make boats. Researchers in Alabama have developed a new type of concrete that they hope will someday be used to make spaceships. Now, don't laugh. They're already using this to make canoes. Concrete canoes, and they float. In fact, the new concrete canoe is so light and so flexible that a solid block of concrete will float in water. So if they make it out of this particular type
Oh,
of...
that's crazy.
So I don't know if they whip air into it or what they do exactly to make that work, but it's happening in Alabama. So there you go. Light concrete. That's kind of cool.
That's very cool.
Coming up, we're going to talk about some duckies and a very interesting story that could have probably been saved for my good news of the day, but I guess got some really good news too. So all of that is on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
I think this is a really neat story. This could have been my good news for the day, Heidi.
Okay.
A mother duck in Vancouver, British Columbia, saved her ducklings by chasing down a police officer, grabbing onto his pant leg, and directing him to where her ducklings
Oh, how cute is
had
that?
fallen. Yeah, they fell in through the sewer grates. Officer Roy Peterson said when the duck first grabbed his pant leg, he thought, wow, that's kind of goofy. And he kind of, kicked her away. But then he grabbed his pants again and led him to a sewer grate. He looked down, and it said there were ducks down there, 8 little babies in the water below. After he rescued the ducklings, the mother duck then marched them to a pond nearby.
That is one of the coolest stories I have ever heard.
Isn't that neat? So little ducklings fell down, and she tracked down a police officer and pulled him over there.
That's really,
Reminds me
really cool.
of a TV show from back when I was a kid. It was in reruns when I was a kid. But Lassie, remember that dog Lassie?
Yeah.
Lassie. They
Yeah.
could have a show like that with this duck,
There you go.
tracking down officers and, hey, my ducklings fell in a well.
There you go.
All right, something like that. Coming up, we're going to talk about some more fun things like a skateboard dude. What do we have here? This is something about skateboards. Oh, there's skateboard parking at the school. That's what it is. Interesting story on the way.
John and Heidi.
We just wrapped up one of the most contentious elections in the history of our nation. Some are excited about the outcome, others not so excited. We want to remind you that we're still one nation, under God, indivisible. We've made it through many things, and we'll make it through this too. Let's do it together. At PoliticalStorm.com, we've been covering this election from both sides, and we want to thank the many contributors that have helped make that possible. We also invite you to become a contributor too with a free blog. Let's share all of the reasons to come together and unify as a nation. Share your voice at PoliticalStorm.com.
John and Heidi.
I have been trying to get a little bit better at pre-reading my stories, but I pre-read this like 4 days ago, so we'll see if I remember it. It says, it looks like a Southern California high school will have a parking area now for cars and for bicycles and also now for skateboards.
That's cool.
But would you park a skateboard? Really?
Well, there would have to be a secure place to chain your skateboard.
Well,
They
it
probably
says
don't
here-
want them bringing the skateboards into the school.
That's
so
kinda
there
what's
has
going
to
on.
be a designated area.
Skateboarders are getting some respect at Cypress High in Southern California. The school is the first in the nation, as far as we know, to install skateboard racks. Principal Norm Fried says, it makes sense to give the skateboarders a hand. He says the school already has parking lots for cars and bike racks for bikes, so why not board racks? It didn't seem like a big deal to me. He says without the racks, the skateboards are dangerous because kids might trip on them if they're just lying by their desk. Students will be charged $10 a year to use the skateboard racks, the same as a parking permit or a bicycle rack spot. So they have to pay for that. Do our kids ever have to pay for that? Was that?
We've had to at schools before, like our son's school that he was in. We had to pay for
parking space?
Yeah.
No kidding.
But I would think that a skateboard or a bike would be cheaper than a car.
I don't know. And they're probably saying, hey, we got to
spot.
make it fair. Otherwise, it's going to be discrimination. Because
Yeah,
if
but
it's a
they
different...
take up way less space.
A permit
so-
is a permit. So maybe it's just a parking permit that you can use it on a car, or if you're driving your bike, you put it on your bike. So I'm assuming that it's a movable permit that you use on whatever mode of
know.
transportation you're using. I'm thinking. I don't know.
We're overthinking this.
Yes.
This really has nothing to do with us.
You're right. It's in Southern California at Cypress High. Let them worry about the details. Coming up, I have a great little story that I'm going to share with you. Also, I want to let you know, if you come across a great story like the ones that I'm going to be sharing here, and you want to share it for the good news of the day, go ahead and send it to me. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show is our Facebook page. Send me a message through there, though, because I've had people post it on there, and I don't always see those. If you post it, I might see it, I might not. But if you send me a message through there, I'll see it for sure, and then I'll make sure I share it. And I've got a great one on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I thought this was really good news. This was shared through our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show, and I've got it reposted on there so you can see it. The police officers in Lowell, Michigan, brought a little Christmas cheer to some motorists that they pulled over. So these were people who had some sort of driving infraction. They didn't use a blinker, or they weren't wearing a seatbelt, some minor traffic violation. They pulled them over for real, legitimately pulled them over. And instead of giving them a traffic ticket, the officers surprised them with things that were on their Christmas list. So, the officer was just being really polite. They had a radio that people were listening on the other end of the radio. So they were saying, "So you guys doing some Christmas shopping?" "Oh yeah, I'm on." "So what's on the list this year? What's been the hard things to find? What are you looking for?" And they were saying it. They could hear it in the radio. There were people in the store right there that were getting these things. And then when he'd say, "Well, I got to run back to the car. I'll be right back up." He'd go back. He'd get these gifts, and he'd come up and hand them to him.
Aw.
I thought that was so cool.
I love that.
So anyway, these are things that some of them were items for themselves. The ones that I thought were the best were the items for the kids, where they were saying, "Oh, I've been looking for this, and oh man, I just don't know if I can afford to get it. And it, because my kids want this, but and this ticket's not going to help." Come on, officer, be nice to me.
They should do that with the stuff that's like in impound.
Oh, yeah.
The stuff that they get, the drugs. You looking for pot? Here you go.
Mom, why does my skateboard smell like cocaine? I don't know if kids would even know. I wouldn't know. But this is just such a cool thing. Heidi.
No, I know. You're making me laugh, and I'm
Sorry.
coughing.
This is such a cool thing. And again, thank you for sharing that video with me. If you see some good news from around the net, and you'd like to share that, because I always try to end things with good news here, and I've got a pretty good list of good news for the next couple of days, but if you see something, maybe it'll get on next week, maybe it'll be on the following week, whenever. Good news is always good news, no matter when it is.
That's right.
So this is good news, and it'll always be good news. So Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.